Okay, summing this up, you're a resident of North Carolina.
Right.
What would you like to say to your North Carolina legislators?
Well, if I could, I still have one more experience I would like to relate.
Sure, go for it.
I was diagnosed as an epileptic when I was 12 years old. I've been on a wide regimen of medications for that as well. Just a few I can think off the top of my head: Depakine, Depakote, Tegretol, Dilantin, phenobarbital, Klonopin, etc., etc. A lot of those did a lot of the same things the narcotics did. I had one, I think it was I believe it was a Tegretol that gave me violent mood swings. Some of them, just all I wanted to do was sleep. I pretty much wasn't even conscious. Several of them I was allergic to. I broke in rash, sometimes hives. One, I broke out so bad I started bleeding on the surface of the skin. I was finally able to get it under control when I was about 16 with the use of Klonopin. Now, Klonopin, that's like a last-ditch resort. That was originally meant to calm psychiatric patients with violent tendencies, but they found it as I guess a side effect that it can control seizures too, so that helped me. Now the problem with Klonopin, one of the side effects is short-term memory loss. That, oh my God, to not have a short-term memory is one of the worst things you can deal with, but it was kind of an even trade-off to not experience seizures, because I was experiencing seizures on the frequency of sometimes, you know, at least once an hour. So it was nothing for me to have 12, 15 in a day. And yeah, the Klonopin controlled that. But then again, you know, I had all the side effects I had to deal with. One of the side effects with Klonopin, when you first go on, not so much a problem once you've been on it for a while, but when you first get on it, there's a possibility you can slip into a coma. So it's okay to treat that with a medication like that, but not something like cannabis. And where I'm going with this, years later, every doctor I had after the Klonopin worked kept prescribing me Klonopin. Moved here to Wilson. I fell on hard times. The doctor I had owed him some money, and he refused to refill my prescription when I ran out because I owed him money. Give me a second.
It's okay.
And I remember going to his office with patients there and pleading with them to give me my medicine so I could work, so I could drive. I was a single father with 2 kids. To be able to do the things I normally did that I knew I wouldn't be able to do without that medicine. And he agreed to refill it one more time, but that was it. So now I knew I had 1 month to find an alternative.
Well, I mean, your physician knew that your life basically hung in the balance, and this is the way he reacted.
And he refused to treat me because I owed him money. Yeah. So I had 30 days to find an alternative. I got online and I looked up alternative treatments for epilepsy. Now the ones that hit me first was a vegetarian diet, exercise, meditation, prayer, and one of the last ones I found was smoking marijuana. Well, because I only had 30 days, I did them all. I turned vegetarian, I started a strict exercise program, meditated and prayed every day, and I started smoking marijuana again. When that 30 days was up, the medicine was gone, but I didn't have any more seizures.
Seizures were gone.
Seizures were gone, and they stayed gone. And I remember I didn't tell anybody but one person, in case something, you know, drastic happened to me, you know, what I was doing and why I was doing it. So there was someone who had the answers if I fell out or got in a bad accident. So after a year of being seizure free, you know, I kind of had a little party over it. Well, after that year, you know, I gotta be honest, I was no longer vegetarian. I didn't meditate and pray every day, and I didn't exercise the way I should, but I continued using marijuana. And it's been 3 years now that I have not been on any prescribed medicine for seizures, and it's also been 3 years that I've been seizure free. An interesting fact is, about 6 months after I was off the medicine, my doctor was kind enough to order an EEG at the local hospital to see how the seizure activity in my brain was. Interestingly enough, my seizure activity in my brain has increased from when I was on the medicine, but they no longer surface. I no longer have any visible seizures.
Fantastic. Fantastic. But you've got the flip side of that. You still, the only medication that you found to be able to treat your seizures is illegal in this state.
It is. Interestingly enough, that was only a real danger to begin with, because in regards to the epilepsy, I got to be honest, I don't smoke marijuana for that anymore. I mean, I've pretty much been able to suppress that. But for the other, my back, yeah, I still do smoke it for that. Yes. And what would I like to tell my legislators? I'd like to tell them this. What I do for a job, I take care of special needs children. I'm paid by the state and federal government to take care of your kids. There are currently 4 individual agencies in this city alone who are competing with my services because of what I do with these children. I've raised 2 kids successfully on my own, and now I'm helping raise other people's children. I'm saying, instead of pump my body with all these foreign toxins to make me sick, lose my memory, lose my mind, just make it legal to roll up a marijuana cigarette every once in a while so that I can function and take care of your kids. Yeah.
And do it well.
And do it well, yeah.
Sounds great, bud. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sound good to you? Sound good to me?
Very interesting, very compelling story.